great. Thank you. Thank you both very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And the last of the community board reports, certainly by no means least, Waikura Linwood-Central-Heathcote Community Board. Alexandra Davis. Thank you.
Thank you. Kia ora koutou. And I have Arahanui Grace as my amazing clicker today. It's nice to have a friend. So thank you so much for having us this morning. We'll take the report as read. We have no part A's today, but have a few things that we'd like to share with you. So we have made obviously a few decisions in the last month. One of these being a lease agreement with Avebury House Community Trust to manage Avebury House as a community building. The lease agreement has finally gone through with the newly opened Opawa Public Library, and a discretionary response fund contribution grant was made to the Salvation Army Christchurch East Financial Mentoring Program. Back to Avebury House. We would really love to be making the use of facilities more user-friendly, not just obviously in our part of town, but across the whole city. It would be fantastic to see. So, community use of heritage parks. The board have discussed the challenges that communities are experiencing when wanting to use heritage parks for events and functions. In a nutshell, we seek local groups to run these facilities and encourage them to make them flourish as social enterprises. But then, unfortunately, we hamstring them with the rules. Avebury House is a popular community facility for family celebrations because of its beautiful setting and reasonable pricing. But the lawn cannot be used for the use of furniture, marquees and gazebos, which severely limits the scope of use of the facility. The board has requested staff to work creatively with the community group to find ways that this situation can be resolved. And we understand there is a process underway and there are solutions being sought. So we are heartened by that. Moving on to spray-free Radley Park. So Michael Reynolds presented at the community board meeting on the 31st at our public forum, and he was presenting on behalf of Roy Marta Food Commons. So on the 29th of September, the Roy Marta Food Commons posted this photo on their Facebook page. And the group has been working alongside park staff to achieve a spray-free zone in the park, and they are having great success up to this point, which is really cool. The Summit Road Society and Te Hapa o Ngāti Whiki have been the recipients of $1 million for a shovel-ready project restoring the Avoca Valley stream. This is a one-to-one matching fund, so the group came to speak to the board. They have already raised $700,000 of their share of the matching amount and were seeking the board's support for an application to the Ministry for the Environment for the remaining $300,000. The board wishes them luck and hoping to hear about that soon. We have, again, which is great, seen the arrival of the Godwits. The Avon-Heathcote estuary has welcomed back the first of the Godwits from Alaska, who have made their 8-day, 11,000 kilometre journey back to their feeding spots. About 125 bar-tailed Godwits arrived on the 14th of September, and another 196 a few days later from their breeding grounds on the other side of the world. There are many more that are expected to arrive over the next few weeks. The Avon-Heathcote Estuary Ihutai Trust updated the board recently about the importance of the estuary as part of the East Asian Australian Flyway, one of the most significant biological features on the planet. We're very lucky to have it in our area. And we have been working with community on a media session. So Following a discussion with the Heathcote Village project on the challenges of promoting the mahi community groups do in the areas, staff arranged a working with media workshop specifically for the suburbs who receive the Bay Harbour News. Community groups wanted to know how to get their stories into the paper and how to best report back on their projects to funders. Groups have found it difficult with everything else they are working on to make time to write articles for social media, papers, and also complete their reports back to funding organisations. So staff had organised Stu Oldham, the assistant editor from the Otago Daily Times, who until recently was on secondment to the Star Media Group. And he was there to deliver this workshop. The session was held on the 9th of September, hosted by Heathcote Valley Community Association and their community centre, with around 10 in attendance from Sumner Bay's Union Trust, Sumner Community Residents Association, the City Mission, staff from Matukataku Takutaku, Woolston Development Project, and Taylor's Mistake Surf Lifesaving Club with the Heathcote Village Project. So this has been a workshop that has really helped these groups and is allowing them to feedback not only the issues they are facing, but also the amazing mahi and events happening in their communities. And just to finish off, next time we will be presenting to council, we will have a new board member. So we're looking forward to that coming to fruition. And that is all.
I've already voted. Just a reminder to everyone that lives in the Central Ward that the date for returning your ballots for the place left, sadly by Sally Buck, closes the day before the general election. So Friday the 16th of October, you need to have them in the post by... Suggesting Monday next week. So that's very... close. It is next week, isn't it? Monday next week.
I need to get mine in.
And yeah, so it's really important that people do vote, but they can be physically brought into the council or Tūranga or any, the ward, Linwood Library. So they're the three places they can be brought into: Linwood Library, Tūranga, and the Christchurch City Council offices. They can be brought in here until Friday at midday. Am I right? Friday at midday.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. Okay. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Maybe a question for
Yep.
Joe is, do we know what the turnout's like so far for voting?
As at yesterday, it was 13.6.
As at yesterday, 13.6%. I mean, the trouble was that we originally arranged the ballot, or staff organised the ballot, the independent electoral role that they hold, organised the ballot for the month after the election, and the election got moved by a month, so hence we are right up against it in that regard. You'd like to move that? And a quick word, so Sarah moved and seconded by Jake. All right, Sarah?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank you for the report and just mention as well something that's popped up in the meantime with the spray free, because it's great that Roy Mata, Fu Commons and that part of Radley Park are going to be spray free, but we've got residents in Waltham now getting their street together to make their street spray free, because of course our streets still have glyphosate as the weed killer that's being used, and people, when they realise that, you can opt out. And so there's a resident who's trying to rally her whole street to get their street spray free and just to take responsibility themselves for pulling out the odd weed and those kind of things, which is going to be really cool. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, I'll put the motion. All those in favour say aye. Those opposed say no. That's
Thank you.
carried. Thank you very much. Thank you. And we now move on to reserve revocation 122